I was dancing here at the back. Hello, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen. We are coming live on the Diamond Beauties Forever group, and we're also coming live on the Tanzanite Zero group. Oh, look, yeah, I'm confusing myself. Chris is your presence that have bestowed on me. So let me start again. My beautiful diamond beauties, welcome, and my beautiful Tanzanite heroes, welcome. Our panel is here, our spotlight. I call him my miracle man. My spotlight miracle man is here, so I'm so excited. And we've got a special guest, Chris. And Howard and Chris just came in before we started. So, hello, Chris, welcome here. And here is Buddy. So, let me quickly bring in Buddy. Here is Buddy, a full panel today. Hello, my beautiful Buddy. So, Chris, I don't know if you've got your glasses, but here we wear funny glasses. Buddy, where is your Star Wars glasses?
Oh, let me get him out.
Is it Chris or Keith?
Chris.
It's Chris.
Oh, I thought Howard said Keith. That's why.
No, it's Christian. He goes by Christian, but he's short by Chris.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had to get shiny ones.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Wait,
got
see,
it?
Chris, you have some shades?
Oh, he does. He's got
Okay.
some.
I didn't want to have him be. There we go.
Oh, no, he's got cool ones.
Oh, wow. So, my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, today we will be introducing ourselves with our shades on. Thank you, Laura, for that beautiful word, because I will always call it glasses, but I love your shades. So, can I start with you, Laura? Can you take 2 minutes to introduce yourself? Then it goes to Christa, then Howard, Chris, and then Buddy. Go
Are we
ahead,
doing
my
this
beautiful.
with the
Yeah.
shades on or off?
Put your shades on.
Oh, no. We got to
Oh,
put them
all
on,
right, all
Howard.
right, all
Hi,
right.
everyone. I'll get the ball moving. Laura Brennan Ballet. Like everyone here, just international empowerment, force to be reckoned with, author, speaker, coach. Not going to take up any more time than that. You can all reach me on thescienceofempowerment.com. Lots of love being here. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura, for letting me go right after you. So first of all, Howard's so excited to talk to you today, and I had to put my shining brightly glasses on. My name is Christa Rose, and I'm the Amazon #1 best-selling book of Skip the Pain, Experience the Pleasure, and I inspire you to cut the crap that's holding you back so you can live the life you love. I'm an international speaker as well as a coach. You can reach me at christarose.com. Thank you.
Oops. Okay. Our miracle man.
So I know we're going to put the spotlight on me. So we've got the shades. You are all shining brightly today. So we're going to dig into deep that. But I am Howard Brown. I help struggling leaders get back on track because I'm a struggling leader getting back on track. I am a best-selling author, award-winning international speaker, inspiring podcaster, Silicon Valley entrepreneur, and yes, a 2-time stage 4 cancer survivor. And so I am thrilled to be here with my dancing queen, Sanet, and my fellow authors who inspire me every day. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And Chris, if you can introduce yourself, please.
Do you want me to go or somebody like? Okay,
No,
so it's
you
me.
can
I'm
have
Chris
it.
Bowering, and I'm afraid of my own brain because I'm in failure of it is what it is and stuff like that. So, but what I'm really doing is working with nurses and PAs and hospitals and call centers to help them understand what FTD is, frontal temporal dementia. And it's in there with Lewy bodies, with vacuolar LS, a couple of things they're doing. And then I'm working with them because they're the front line. They estimate that we're going to have 7 million people in the next 5 years with this dementia, which is going down to younger people and stuff like that. So so that's what I'm hanging out with, but I'm also coaching on the FTD. It's really, the dementia has been handled so bad. So I'm spending time talking to people who know me, and then others that know me and stuff like that. But I am doing, and I've got 2 more podcasts coming out.
Wow.
Howard was the man that kicked
So
me.
I was his first podcast introduced through John Rappaport. But here's the deal. Chris actually doesn't know when he's going to stop speaking. Oh, there's the heart. There's the heart. But we have famous actors. Bruce Willis got 18 months to diagnose. Wendy Williams, big talk show host,
Wendy.
diagnosed. And so Chris is basically has the disease. He learned from stuttering. He came on my podcast first because the world doesn't know about this. To get diagnosed is very complex. It's very
And
complex.
I still do stutter.
Well, you're doing great, man. You're my hero.
Godspeed, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, my beautiful Chris. Buddy, my beautiful Buddy. Oh, over to you.
Well, everybody, I'm Buddy Thornton, and international keynote speaker, author. Every book that I've written in my Slippery Slope series have reached #1 in the international best-selling space, including my 3rd book, which was set the record for Natalie McQueen's Gifts of Legacy Company with 73 #1 categories across 6 countries and 6 continents when it was launched on day 1. And to date, it is still my best-selling book, so I really can't complain about that. Currently, I'm working in the mental health and suicide prevention space with partners and nonprofits, and just living life and enjoying spending time with my fellow authors.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Wow. Did you hear this, Buddy? This is my African drum, and this is my small one. I have one that I can't even pick up. It's so heavy. Oh, wow. Amazing. So welcome, everyone. You're welcome to take off your shades.
The cool shades.
So my beautiful miracle man, do you also have your miracle bag with you today?
Oh yes, I will have to get that out then. I did, of course, I brought it.
Please just
I have it.
Please just mention it quickly again, and then we're going to start your questions. Laura's going to ask your first question, then Christa, and then Buddy. And then I don't know if Chris, if you want to ask a question or just observe. We are just so thankful for your presence. And I just want to say thank you for taking a deep dive to come in on here live. And you just are doing an amazing job. So thank you so much, my beautiful Chris. And at the end, I will be asking you if you will have a dance with me. I cannot wait.
We dance the show out, Chris. You'll see. It's beautiful.
Howard, can you just quickly tell us about your miracle bag?
Yes. Well, before I tell about the miracle bag, so I want to tell you that when I met Buddy through the Art of Connection, how I met you, Sanet, but Buddy's become a real mentor. He's so he's really a very iconic man that's written books, a professional bowler. But his guidance, he told me authors need to be able to write and speak, and speakers need to be able to author and write. And the way that I came about this book, Shining Brightly, was that I went from cancer to COVID. I'm a 2-time stage 4 cancer survivor. And I wrote this book during COVID, but I didn't really write it. I did 158 interviews on Zoom because it was COVID and the technology was now here. And those Zoom sessions became transcripts, which became chapters, which became edited, which became a best-selling memoir.
Yep.
So there's many ways to get to authorship. That's the point I wanted to make on this. And this story is my life. And my life starts with lessons learned from my great-grandmother from Lithuania, about kindness, about giving, and about healing, and about gratitude. And I take people through, and I'm really not talking to the reader. I am actually inviting you into the Zoom room to hear my family fight about which grandmother, we call Bubby in Judaism, which brisket recipe was the best, and if we remember things correctly. And I bring you into lessons learned about becoming a mentor, interfaith relations, of course, about cancer, finding your happy place. Mine is the basketball court. Where's your happy place? Go there often. And I end the book sharing the resilience of walking in darkness of 2 stage 4 cancer diagnosis, where I was told I had 6 months to live and to get my affairs in order. So this is once at age 23, when there was no cell phones, no internet, no computers in 1990. And Miracle 1, a bone marrow transplant saved my life from my twin sister. And I want to tell you right now, I'm sitting there and the bone marrow comes in, and I get an infusion, and the infusion bag is right here. And the reason Sanet wants me to show this is the bag that saved my life from my twin sister's bone marrow. So I asked my mom to grab it, stick it in her pocket, and 34 years later, I have the proof that saved my life the first time. And then 34 years later, unfortunately, after a 50-year-old colonoscopy, I had stage 3, then metastatic stage 4 cancer. Lightning struck again. And after chemotherapy and side effects and surgeries and clinical trials that all failed me, I had a massive surgery where they cut out all the cancer, took out parts of my liver, my stomach lining, and bowel, and they poured hot chemotherapy. They spun me around like a rotisserie chicken to kill microcell. And I have to tell you that it works about 20% of the time to extend your life 2 months to maybe 2 years. I am 4 years, no evidence of disease. I am cancer-free right now.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Woo!
So the last thing before it's incredible. So the last thing is, why did I write this book? I wrote this book to leave a legacy. Okay. I wanted to tell people that even because we all get knocked down in life and in business and in me and others in health, okay, and in relationships, we must learn from that walk in darkness to use the light or use other people's light to get back up again, to lift up ourselves and then go lift up others to make a world a better place. And so we have to shine brightly every day. We look in the mirror and we say that we are blessed, we are lucky, we are grateful. Let's go help people today and make this world a better place. That's what inspiration is.
Nice.
I love it. So yes to you, my beautiful miracle man.
Me? I would love to, but you know what, Howard, when you first met with me, you also told me you wrote a couple of books and stuff like that, and I thought that was really, really something that would be too far out for me. Right now, I'm looking at people who really need help, caregivers, the spouses, the husbands, and everybody, because the diagnoses were so far away that they're waiting for what's going to happen to me, and by the time they get there, they're like waiting right there in my corner, and they've all got stories. So I'm going to try and see if I could get maybe a podcast, but I need to get, I would love to do a book. My wife would probably just say, but don't do it for that, do it for yourself. And I never thought I'd be a writer, but I'm getting compliments I'm writing notes on LinkedIn and stuff like that. I knew about Wendy Williams, and I wrote a nice letter to her, and then she shared it. And so it's just kind of a whirlwind. That's why I thought I would come on this.
Well, so Chris, you're talking to the right people. So offline, we're going to talk to Buddy and Natalie. We can get a book out for you, or you can be part of a collaborative book. So my wife wrote a book called Now What? It's for caregivers. She was in a collaborative. I'll get you a copy of that. You can get help doing it. You don't have to write it. You can speak it, just like I did, and tell what you want to say. So we'll get you there.
and I'm also using your kind of vernacular by what people are saying is I read your letters and it speaks to them. They say it looks like it's like I want to meet you because you talk like this. I'm sure. So anyway, that's I never
Well,
knew.
Yes, Chris.
community, right?
Chris, Chris, when I work with authors who are not good writers, but who want to get a message to the world, I use a hybrid of what Howard did. Howard used all of his transcripts, and it's fantastic. What I do is I will have a Zoom meeting, 2 or 3, with an aspiring author, and then I will simply ghostwrite their entire story.
Yeah.
And the reason I do that is because I can create 100,000 word book in 30 days.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
use AI, but I do use your voice. So if you're on a short time frame, yes, we need to get together offline, and you and I and Howard and Natalie need to talk so we can get your message out to the world while it's relevant and get it moving.
That would be super special for me, and all the people who are picking up the FTD, and it's nobody. I never thought I would do this, Howard. I was a corporate guy, and I loved all that and everything, and all of a sudden, one time,
Wow.
I started to stutter, and then they're like, and then I walked out of the office, and it was a terminal disease. So
Right. So you're walking the path right now, and we're going to share your story. So I told you, you're my hero, man. I'm so glad you're with us today. So,
Yeah.
so
And you're surrounded by a community of very compassionate human beings. And right here,
yeah.
you have people who are letting you know that they will help you and guide you and support you. And so you've got
yeah,
plenty of people in your corner.
And
Absolutely.
I would
yeah,
love
I believe
to
it.
chat with you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chris. I would love to chat to you because I do have a few TV shows that
Yeah.
is the network is in California, E360 TV, and we can always make sure that you are on the TV shows as well. So I will also connect with you offline. So my beautiful Laura, do you want to ask our
Yes,
but Howard
Howard.
his first question?
Yes.
So we were saying before we all got together, Howard,
Yes.
I have 5 questions, but I'm not going to ask you all 5, so everyone has an opportunity. But it wasn't that it was a challenge thinking about what I would talk to you about, but narrowing it down. Uh, I read through the book, so I just loved it. So this is the question I'm going to start with because I loved the poem, Where Am I From? For many reasons, many reasons. And it actually sparked another level of healing for me and a new perspective. So that was just so poignant in the book. There are individuals out in the world that have less than a positive past, and not just talking that are going through like a life changing challenge like the both of you gentlemen are, but just many reasons why their look back story is not something that inspires them or empowers them or even softens, right, the present condition they're going under. So what can you say to those individuals out there of how they can really begin to create that story now, so when they are looking back, it is something of beauty and of power and of purpose?
I love that question. And so
Wow.
the first thing that I do is, and it's powerful, the first thing I ask people to repeat after me is to say, I am a work in progress. And I make them repeat that 3 times. We are
I
all
am-
works in progress. We can do it. Ready? I repeat after me. I
I am.
I
am a work in a progress.
in progress.
I'm
All right,
a
I'm
work
not as-
in progress.
So we're all a work in progress. So Sanet, we live this. And when you go through transformation, Okay. Whether it be weight loss, whether it be job loss, whether it be divorce, whether you want to talk to your family or your spouse better, whether you want to improve your stamina and get in shape, whether you want to travel, whether you want to learn how to cook, play an instrument. We have the ability, and I call this the old nursery rhyme, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, because we all fall off the wall. We are all broken in some way. Okay. And one of the things that I want to tell people is not to isolate. Okay. You can't isolate, because that's when actually that darkness can overtake you. Okay. And that's biblical, that darkness. The light is what you shine. And I tell people to go shine their light and take the spotlight and the pressure off yourself. Go act kindness. Go do an act of kindness for somebody else. Bring them a meal. Take a walk with them. Call someone that you haven't talked to in a while and tell them that you care about them. There's so many things that you can do. And when you do that, it changes your mindset. It changes your perspective. And also, as Sanet knows and as Chris knows, you just got to take each day at a time. You don't lose all that weight and transform yourself in overnight. You have to give yourself some grace period, but keep track of it weekly, monthly. And honestly, then be selfish in your time of need and go ask for help. There are so many of us, just the 6 of us in this room, will actually take a request and go help someone or find them help. It's what we do. So thank you for that question. It's powerful.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I wanted that new perspective, kind of like this observation point. How can I write this story so when I look back, and it's always a work in progress. So I love that. Thank you so much. I'll hopefully come back around with my next question.
All right.
Christa?
Yes, that was a perfect segue. So, Howard, first of all, the way it was written in your narrative, I could hear your voice. I could hear your family's voice, and it connected with me a new level of identification. I can already identify with some of your story, but it's the feelings and it's the drive. So I wanted to just honor that. Many questions. First of all, the basketball chapter is really my favorite. But having said that, on because it's personal. So I think it was about page 75. Have no idea why I remember that page, but you really talked about your parents. You talked about your mother, specifically about how she had the positive mindset. And not only did she have this positive mindset, because as caregivers, we can say, yes, we're going to have this positive mindset, keep fighting, on and on. She took action. She went and helped supported blood drives. She, did so many of these things and charities. So I guess my question to you is, how did you take everything that she did and her inspiration to keep moving forward, to inspire others and continuing to, I know you do some charity work, but tell me a little bit about that, how you use that.
Sure. So I'm looking at it right now. Growing up, my parents stressed how important a positive attitude. My mother was upbeat, vibrant woman. Positive attitude was contagious. So it's modeling. Okay. As kids, we're observant to our parents and watching their actions, and they're leaving how they conduct themselves. And when my mom walks into, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and every day we found candy there, and one day no candy. So my mother calls 10 different candy, companies, and they had candy delivered to Dana-Farber for the next 10 years.
Wow.
So this is a woman of action. I saw my mom find a need and just take action. And so obviously it rubbed off on me, and I'm a man of action. So if it's fundraising, or if it's mentoring, or if it's something where I'm actually deeply involved with, is that my mom said it's good to support the cause, but you actually, have a positive attitude, support the cause. Show me how you take action. And it's a really beautiful thing that she did, and my parents did. But here's the thing. So they grew up twins, my twin sister, miracle number 1, right? And at age 23, I moved back home with mom and dad for cancer 1. And because I had no immune system, I spent a lot of time at age 23 back with my parents again, after leaving the house and starting my career. So they were just the role models and mentorship that I was able to basically be observing growing up. I learned to carry that forward. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, that's what that you have to tell our children, and the people that are in our circles are watching, are observant, they're listening, and they're taking from us the good and the bad. Okay. So I talk about hate a lot, and we have to choose to be hateful. We can choose to be kind. We can choose to be grateful. All right. We're not born that way. We have to make the conscious choice in doing so. And so I made the conscious choice to live like mom and dad and be generous with my time and take action.
Thank you for expanding on that, because I thought it was so beautiful and I could see that through you. So yeah, great work. Great work.
Oh, wow. Thank you. So I just quickly want to say, because we are not going live on the TV, on a E360 TV show, we can actually go a little bit longer. So my beautiful diamond beauties and my beautiful Tanzanite heroes, we're going to stay a little bit longer today. So I hope you will enjoy our session today. And, it's all good because we are our own bosses. Isn't that right?
That's right.
My beautiful buddy, do you have your question for Howard?
Oh, yes, I am absolutely prepared for my good friend Howard. Howard, I hear you all the time through self-deprecation saying that you just feel like you're not a writer. But when I'm working with authors, I tell them this is a heart and soul journey.
It is.
So does it really matter what was the methodology behind getting your words out to the world? Absolutely not. I would rather you scribble them on a napkin and get them to me so I can work with them, or any competent editor, than to leave the message untold. So when you were trying to put this book out, and I know it took you several years to do this, when you were going through that journey, did you realize you were actually creating a template for people who have the same struggles in you? And how would you address that?
So first of all, it took my publisher, French Publishing, said it would take 1 year. It took over 3. And this became, during COVID, my passion project. And I was very authentic in there, and people feel that. I was very intentional, and they feel that, and very inspirational. So I knew what I was doing, and I broke the rules, buddy. So, because that's what entrepreneurs and that's what you do. I wanted different things. I put in the pictures, the chapters. I put in 65 endorsements. But here's the reason why I kind of self-deprecate. And I'm going to stop that, by the way, starting today, buddy, because you said that. Grammar and punctuation are optional for me. But that's why guys like you are the savior, because you're such a great editor. So I hear you that. I hear with you that. I wanted to leave a legacy, okay, because I wanted people to feel the ability that when they get stopped in their tracks like I did, okay, and many people have had way worse things, okay, but people have minor things in life. I wanted them to understand by using your light, there is a way back, okay, to rebuild and get better than before, and get help and get to you where you want to go. And that's what the book is. And I want people to illuminate that. That's where the light bulb and the dove is in there for peace, love, and hope. This is not just a book. This is a movement. Okay. There is enough negativity in this world. And one of the disciplines I learned for Cancer 2, I had to weed out the negativity. When you're trying to live your life and you're on the front lines of 6 months to live, there's no time and there's no room for negativity. I became extremely mentally tough and extremely disciplined. And that means situational. That means not watching the news. And that means sometimes friends and relatives were put on a respectful but limited access basis. So I see that our dancing queen is shaking her hands and putting on her glasses. We're shining.
Chills.
She's got
Chills behind my neck. Chills. Look at my hair. Look at my hair. Amazing. So, my beautiful Chris, do you want to ask Howard a question?
I don't know.
It's
I'm
okay.
just happy to be. I hope I didn't crash this, because I thought it was going to be.
No,
You're
never.
here for a reason. You have no idea.
No.
You added value. We're going to get your book written by Buddy and Natalie. This is why you're here.
But what I'm happier than I ever have been
Mm.
because I'm doing something that's worthy of having stuff done, and because everything I'm doing is free. So and the advice is kind of good, but everything happens, and it unfolded last year. But last year is when I had the diagnose, and that made me angry, super angry. I mean, like fiery. I'm gonna fire. I'm gonna divorce my wife. I'm going to get out of here, and all this other stuff. And then little old guy Howard Brown came by because it was John Rappaport told me, you have to go to Howard, which I did. And then we had a fun we made it a little bit fun, and I wasn't,
Yeah, we did.
and I just I feel really powerful, because even though I have a disease, a terminal disease, I am absolutely involved in all of it. So it makes it really, really just fabulous to be doing things, especially when people are coming on and then asking me, what did I need to do? How are we going to make this work with our family? Stuff like that. So it's a whirlwind.
Well, Chris, you're finding a voice through empowering others through a disempowering experience. And that's the beauty and the hope that I'm feeling from you. And yes, Howard, he just ignites that in all of us, no matter what we've been through or what level. Even if you didn't go through that same journey as Howard did, all I do is live in an empowerment zone. And I actually got elevated reading the book. And that's a testament, an authentic testament. He really just elevated a part of me. So just absolutely amazing.
Chris,
Wow.
I want to acknowledge that I too was very angry. Okay, when I'm diagnosed, the first time I was a deer in the headlights. The second time, I didn't
Mm.
know if I was going to see my daughter graduate high school. I didn't know if I'd ever be able to celebrate another wedding anniversary with my wife. I didn't know if I was going to be able to live 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. And for whatever reason, because in the colorectal cancer world, 53,000 people will die this year, 155,000 be diagnosed. I am here today for a purpose.
Yeah.
And when I met you, I know nothing about frontal temporal lobe and aphasia. You educated me to a world, okay, because you were this high-powered executive, this big athlete, and thank God for your wife that was noticing changes in you. And you exposed me to a whole new world. I received education and empathy, and I mean it. You are my friggin' hero. I worry about you. I care about you. I check on you, and I
Thank you.
support you, and you support me. And this is what Shining Brightly is all about. We're here. Why you're here is because we're the perfect example of shining brightly today. So thank you.
Howard, I think you said it perfectly. You are literally the perfect example. Both of you guys, and I mean, I can identify a little bit. I also have a chronic illness, but the fact that you're sharing your story, using what you know and what you're living through to help others, raising your voice, and without hiding in the shadows, is such a great testament. I mean, and Howard, after reading your book, I had to go through it actually twice and make little notes, hence page 75. The narrative that you can read in it, and how it brings just awareness. I mean, when you're talking about, like, I'm thinking about how many things I need to go get screened for now, and I'm embarrassed to say that there's so many tests that I say, yep, I should get. You know what? Guess what I'm going to be doing? Howard, because of you, I'm going to be getting, I won't say all of them, some woman tests.
Yes.
And I know that's definitely is for a reason. And so thank you for empowering me, and for all of us, and you, Chris, and for all of you guys for sharing your voice and reminding us how important it is to share with others, because we don't know. right? We don't know, Howard, what you went through until you shared it. Chris, I had absolutely no idea until you shared yours. All of us. So yeah, I think that was perfect. Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
always fun too because it's a rule breaker. That's what
Yeah.
every one of you are, and all the people out there, they're on this. They're be a person that wants to break the rules the right way, but and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's my take.
There's a power to, right, being an outlier, and you both are an example, and Christa, and even what Sanet, what she has created for everyone here. This is for me, it's the beauty of community. We always think, and that's another aspect of what I think the journey, and as Buddy so beautifully stated with Howard, it doesn't matter how the book was written. It was the story and the community and the faith and all of that, just that alchemy that was weaved into it, that either we could relate to, or for those of us that maybe couldn't, there was something in the storytelling where that heart coherence, right, just bloomed open for you and with you. And that's what I really took away from it.
So the chat is just blowing up, Sanet. So here's the genius that our dancing queen Sanet said to us. Okay, she brought us together for the author's journey because there's a before, there's a during writing the book, and then there's an after. And they're very distinct of how you got to write the book, your life experience, getting the book done, and then publishing the book. And then actually books don't sell themselves. You actually have to go tell people to learn your story so they can learn. And just I am so humbled today that people that you got something out of my book. That's all we as authors want, is to have impact. And I'm so humbled today that that you've all kind of dug deep into the book and have take backs and to-dos and calls to action from my book. That's all we want as authors.
Wow,
would,
amazing.
I would say it's something that it's. I can't believe I'm with you guys and all the positivity, and I hear. I'm like, I wanted to be in the back seat, but the now all of a sudden. And it's for a reason, and I believe that, and I have very strong faith of what I'm doing and how and part of it.
Chris?
Now you're all part of it, so.
Oh, thank you. Chris, did you ever watch Dirty Dancing?
Have I?
The movie Dirty
The
Dancing.
movie Dirty Dancing. Did you ever watch the movie Dirty Dancing?
Yes.
Yeah.
That lady said, never put baby in the corner. So we're not going to put you in the corner. We're not putting you back in the back studio. You are here with us to experience this beautifulness. So my beautiful ones are Howard and everyone. Do you still want to go one more question before we say goodbye, or do you have another appointment?
No, whatever anyone wants to do, it's up to you.
I have another question.
Come on over, Buddy. Come on over.
Snuck out.
I thought you were going to start talking about Dirty Dancing, and I know about dancing. I'm thinking, where are we going with this?
No, I knew she was going to say, you don't put Chris in the corner.
I know. No,
He
don't
referenced the corner. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have another question.
Yeah, nobody puts baby in the corner. That's like nobody puts Howard in the corner.
No.
The reason I led with the self-deprecation, Howard, is because you don't come across in any other area of your life as ever not having super positivity.
That's true.
And I have a famous thing that I try to tell people when I'm inspiring them, and that is never apologize for what worked for you.
Yeah. Okay.
You did earlier, you did say we're all a work in progress. Well, yeah, you know what? We are all a work in progress. We have no choice. We're human beings. We're flawed.
Yep.
So if you're no longer going to have self-deprecation in your world, what are you going to focus on when you write your next book?
So I actually, you're absolutely right. And so the next book is going to, I'm going to actually do it. It's actually titled Canspiration. And I'm going to I'm going to follow the model and talk to you and Natalie. And I'm going to have a collaborative book, and I'm going to have cancer patients and caregivers tell their story of human resolve and inspiration in one page. And so that's the next book, and that's what's happening now, and it's cool.
And you know,
In
that's
progress.
the leader, right? That's that courageous leader in you. And
Yeah.
going back to what Buddy was saying, the beauty of sharing this is all of those human beings out there that have something in them, that they feel that nudge, right? That impetus to share, but are nervous because I'm not a writer, or I didn't go to university. I don't know how to properly frame a sentence. All of that. Now they know there is a community of people that will support you or connect you to someone that will support you. And one of our listeners here, it keeps saying, we are not alone. We really aren't. However, this brings me to my question. So, Howard, the people that are not so blessed in that way to have family or friends or community, where they really do feel very alone in something, how would you inspire them to find the strength to expand their family circle as you did?
That's wow, you really read the book, because what
Yeah.
happened is that in Cancer 1, I was very isolated because I didn't have an immune system. I couldn't be around people. Plus,
Mm.
we also didn't have the communications, no cell phones and no internet. I was alone. I was with my parents a lot, and that's good. We got on each other's nerves too, because we're human. The second time around, I reached out to my worldwide network. I got prayers from all different religions and all different people. Now, for people that don't have that, we are the collective, help them to get them navigation, so I can get them one-on-one mentorship. I can actually bring them into group setting where they can get and make those relationships that people will walk alongside them during their journey, and they can get help. And so this is what Chris is doing, because the frontal temporal lobe dementia is so hard to get diagnosed, and you got to look for the signs earlier. And so he's trying to do that. And so getting them a caregiver, getting them a navigator, getting them a social worker. With the digital world we live in, it's easier than ever. Getting them a coach, it's easier than ever. So you just have to be able to say, help me.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
the cavalry will come.
Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Because that was the one thing that I was worried about your podcast. But I wrote to my people, my community that are there. I said, you're going to hear me stutter through the whole thing, even though I'm doing it, trying to help. I've got someone who's trying to help me keep me in good graces, but don't be embarrassed, and don't if you think it's going to be coming from the heart, I think that's it. That if because you can't keep going if it's not a heart thing for you. So.
I want to acknowledge Addie in the chat. I see you, I feel your request, and I have your email, and I'm going to contact you.
Yeah.
We're going to connect. We're going to connect if you need help.
Nice.
Christa?
Yes, Howard, I mean, maybe the basketball chapter wasn't my absolute favorite. I just want to say I connect with it, especially because my two girls play travel basketball, and it's their kind of like happy place. When you talked about it was your happy place, it seems so much more, and continue, as you say, now you continue to still, or you continue to still play. But I think we need to find a way to almost keep our minds focused on something positive instead of staying out of the negativity. And that's exactly what that chapter is about. It's about basketball, but it seems so much more. It seems more about how to look at things from a new perspective, shut out all the noise and find something that you can really connect with and, just kind of fly with. So talk to me a little bit about that, because when I read that, again, thought it was about playing basketball. Yeah, it was so much more. And so inspirational. So if you don't have basketball, what do you think people can maybe use?
Right. So Christa, I'm so glad that my publisher is like, this chapter, why is it in your book? And I actually, it's in my book for a lot of reasons. So the first of all, the first thing that's obvious to everyone is to find your happy place. And now the basketball court for me is a stress-free zone. Also, I'm moving my blood, so it's helping my peripheral neuropathy. Okay, I'm building muscle, and my endorphins are flying. Plus, I have to tell you, when you play with my crew, everyone is talking crap. All right, we're teasing each other. It's light. I'm not thinking of anything else. Okay, remember, I'm on there after chemotherapy, and as soon as after surgeries, barely moving. I'm like a ghost on the court, and I worked very hard. Okay, I'm 58 years old, still playing with the young guys now, but I can shoot threes, and I played college basketball, Division III. So it's just my place where I don't think and have a care in the world. So it's that stress-free place for me, and I have others too. Okay, I love mountain biking. Okay, I like hiking in nature. I have multiple places, and you have to find them. I'm not really a meditator, yoga guy. I'm learning. But my wife and I like to travel, bed and breakfast. We like to experience new things. We like to go to shows, plays, and that was new for me. I wasn't such a theater guy, but now I am. So those are the ways to do it. But let me tell you what's hidden in that chapter and why it's actually underneath that is that the basketball chapter, okay, here in Michigan, where we have a very diverse community, I play basketball with Jewish people, with Muslims, with Chaldean, which are Iraqi Christians, okay, and with other Christians, and with atheists, and with all the above, African American, and different cultures. The reason that chapter is there is that we all get along on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're not cool, you're not invited back. And I've been doing this now for 18 years. And so I listed about 50 or 60 guys that I play basketball with because they helped me cathartically heal. They brought Howard back from, darkness into light. And on the basketball court, it shines the brightest for me.
Yeah.
And that was healing. It was healing for me. I have to give my basketball guys a shout out. They helped me heal. And that's what I needed. I was selfish, but they took me and they were the part of that. And so I always tell people that we actually didn't shoot each other. We shoot baskets. This is a multicultural game where we don't speak the same language. You don't have different histories. We grew up with different foods, different cultures. And you know what? We just play basketball and we treat ourselves respectfully. We do a little trash talking. And at the end of the day, a fist bump and a high five. And we hope no one got hurt, especially me. And we played some hoops and we got some exercise. And so there was a little hidden message in that chapter about people getting along in interfaith, interethnic relations. So thank you.
That is fantastic. Yeah.
Community.
I was going to say, I knew about the happy place and I could so feel it. And I do see it as well as with my own children playing, and definitely different ethnicities. And it doesn't really matter because you're a team. And when it comes down to it, you actually pointed that out. Welcome to our world. If we can just play as a team, think about how powerful we would be.
Yeah. So you probably picked up one of the lines. Fighting cancer is a team sport. Okay. Building community is a team sport. Helping the world is a team sport. It's very difficult to be a solo and cover the ground and the message and what you need to do, get things done. Life's a team sport. Family's a team sport. Okay. That's how we get stuff done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Buddy, can you ask your last question, my beautiful one?
I will do that. Yes, and I do agree with you, Howard. When the team works, the dream works, and that's how it has to work. I know that's very cliche, and I know that there were several points in your book where you actually fell to some cliches, but you kind of twisted them for your own use. So why don't you share with people, how you envision the the union that we all have with these cliches, and yet your own unique perspective of how you bring things out, just like what you did with your team element in the diverse multicultural environment of the basketball court.
Yeah.
So each of the chapters, at the end of the chapter, my wife doesn't like me calling it homework. I have calls to action. I have links that you may be interested in. Okay. And in the Kindle, you can click right on those links and it takes you there. There's things that you can be generous with and learn about. I'm trying to expand people. I want people to think outside of themselves and to walk in my shoes, just like I've walked in Chris's shoes. Chris has now walked in my shoes. That's the way that you experience life. You get to know somebody at a deeper level. We live in a digital world our kids grew up in, okay, and everything's a blink of an eye. I wanted people to stop for a second and be able to actually immerse themselves 1 or 2 steps deeper, okay, and take in the actual meaning of the chapter. So the chapter on my grandparents is my family and how and the history of how they came to this country and we got started. The mentorship chapter is how I wrapped my hands around a little 10-year-old boy, okay, and he wrapped his hands around me, okay, and we're still big brother now 31 years later, okay, and how he changed my life and how I changed his life. Now, Chris and I only met about 6 or 7 months ago, but we wrap each other around each other. And I want people to do that more, right? And then when I go to the interfaith chapter and I talk about learning about other cultures, I want people to be able to break the stigmatism of hate. Don't choose hate, choose kindness. Choose, like Abraham in the Bible says, and Sarah says, to welcome the stranger into your tent. They have a lot to share and give to you. And so there's themes in all the chapters that tie to living a resilient life with hope to shine brightly. And so this was all very intentional, Buddy, as I authored it, as we edited it. And I'm very proud of it, as you said, but I'm also very humbled to it because I wanted to do basically leave a legacy. Okay. But as what I told people now, I didn't leave the legacy. I'm living the legacy. As I told you last week, Laura, your book to me, at the end of your book, I said, I am on the right track. I am living the legacy. And that reinforced it so much. And so this is the alignment that we bring together. So thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Nice.
So we are almost in an hour. Can you believe it, my
let's
beautiful panel? So I'm going to ask Laura, how are you feeling? And then Christa, how are you feeling? Then I will be going to Buddy and ask him how is he feeling. And then Chris, I will then ask you. And then Howard, you will have the last say before we will have a dance. My beautiful Laura, all over to you.
Yeah. So I'll keep it simple like I always do. I am feeling grateful. Absolute, just gratitude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Christa?
I'm feeling hopeful. From not only everything you said, and Chris, thank you for being on here too. I'm feeling extremely hopeful. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Buddy.
But I have one big complaint about the world that we live in, and that is when people call themselves motivational speakers. I don't need no stinking motivation, but I do need inspirational people like Howard, because that is something that we can live for. That's something we can live to. That's something we can role model. If you need motivation, you're in the wrong stinking place. But if you need to be inspired, you need to be here with us.
Wow.
Nice.
So, Buddy, for that, I need to get something out. Just give me 1 second. My beautiful Chris, can you tell us how are you feeling at this moment?
This was spectacular. This is, just coming on and being here by myself and everything. It's with people who are my people as well.
Yeah. Got your
So
tribe, Chris.
There's the heart.
Yes, your heart, Chris.
What? Oh yeah, that heart.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. My beautiful Howard, how are you feeling at this moment?
I am feeling so humbled and so blessed. And this is, thank you for shining the spotlight on me. And I love sharing. I love that people took interest and are going to take, as my mom said, that call to action. Take that next step. Say yes and take a step.
Yeah.
So please ask me, Sanet,
Sanet,
how
how
are
are
you
you
How are you
feeling?
feeling?
How are you feeling?
I'm over
How are
the
you feeling,
moon.
man?
I'm over the moon. When I was thinking out this amazing project in June 2023, I never expect this today. Never. So thank you, my beautiful panel. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Christa, Howard, and Buddy. And thank you, Chris, for being our amazing guest.
Thanks,
And I
Chris.
would love you to all stay just on the line when we say goodbye to everyone after the dance. Please stay online. There is a reason for it. So I quickly have a message from beautiful Lisa, all the way from Grateful Hub, inspirational, spectacular, love.
Wow.
I'm feeling
Enriched,
enriched.
spectacular.
Oh,
Woo!
thank you, Lisa. And then another one, like you, Chris. My mom is my positive influence. And then,
Nice.
um, laugh out loud. The closing is so wonderful. Oh wow! So my beautiful. Let me just, Laura. How do you pronounce your friend's name?
I always call him Babari. He runs an orphanage in Uganda, and I sponsor him. And I'm going to make the money to take care of him and his children. He's a wonderful human being.
Wow. So, Bambari, I hope you can dance with us. We're going to dance in a few seconds. Here's another message from Adi. I'm feeling blessed. And right now, thank you, Sanet. Oh, wonderful. So, my beautiful guest, let me ask Chris first. My beautiful Chris, will you have a dance with us? Yes, yes.
What are you
Okay,
gonna hang out?
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
Okay.
going to dance. And my beautiful panel, will you have a dance with me?
Of
Yes.
course,
Yes,
my lady.
of course. Thank you for asking.
My beautiful diamond beauties and my beautiful Tanzanite heroes, will you have a dance with us? They said yes. They said yes. Woo!
Woo!
Let us go.
There we go. This is our dance, Chris. Pretty mellow.
Yeah.
Good for the soul. Good for the immune system.
It is.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust. And cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles, oh, there's magic in that flight. Sprinkle me with fairy dust, watch me take to the sky. Singing,
Oh, Buddy.
dancing, soaring high above.